Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has released his plan for a post-war Gaza, which would allow the IDF to act freely within the demilitarised zone. The plan has been rejected by Palestinian officials and runs counter to America's vision of post-war Palestine. CNN's Jeremy Diamond has more.
The Israeli Prime Minister, for the first time, actually putting on paper many of the principles that we've heard him talk about for weeks, if not months now. But he's actually now putting it on paper. He has submitted it to the cabinet, and the Israeli Prime Minister's office says this will serve as a basis for discussion going forward. It would see Israel maintain full security control of the Gaza Strip, including the border between Gaza and Israel, as well as Gaza and Egypt. It would also allow the Israeli military to basically go in and out of Gaza at will to conduct raids. On the civilian side, though, this envisions local Palestinian officials being in control of the Gaza Strip, the civilian administration of the Gaza Strip. And in terms of rebuilding Gaza, the Israeli Prime Minister is saying that would only happen once the full demilitarization of the Gaza Strip is complete, which means removing Hamas from power, removing their weapons from them to the extent that that's possible, and that would only happen once that demilitarization is complete. Now, all of this it stands quite at odds with what the United States is pushing for in a day after Gaza scenario, in part because a lot of these principles would make it nearly impossible, at least in the short term, to establish a sovereign Palestinian state. And that's exactly what the Palestinian Authority is saying this morning. They say that this lays out a plan for Israel to reoccupy Gaza and to prolong the war, saying that this is a, quote, blatant maneuver to block and thwart the American and international efforts to link arrangements to stop the war and release prisoners and hostages, to resolving the conflict and establishing the Palestinian state on the ground. Now, there's no question Israel's own government. You know, for the international community, for the Palestinians, this is going too far to the right. But for many of those far-right ministers like Itamar Ben-Gvir, Bezalel Smotrich, this doesn't go far enough. And that's because they have been advocating for establishing Israeli settlements in the Gaza Strip, which this plan does not do. So this is the beginning of a process, certainly, but one that quite a lot of people have been waiting to see where that process is going to begin. The question now is where it will end.